Hello everyone, my name is Nkululeko Mahlangu. I work as the Business Development Officer at the Center for Entrepreneurship Rapid Incubator. We are based in GS College, Evander Campus, Campus C. Today our session will focus mainly on the business concept of the growth wheel. Growth wheel is a tool that we use when we develop business concepts. Now you must then understand that every business that we develop, first we must understand the idea behind that business. So if you want to start a business, there are 5 key areas that you should look at. The first one, it is the business idea itself. So when we speak about the business idea, you need first to understand what problem is your business solving. The second one is your product portfolio. Basically, it means how are you solving that particular problem. The third one is the revenue model, meaning how do you make money in the process. The fourth one is then your customer portfolio. Who are your customers? Then the last one is your market position. That simply means where are you situated, where are you found. So those are the key 5 areas that today we will look in detail and discuss the 4 challenges that any entrepreneurs face. Before I start, I'll just open on a slide on business development. Okay, the first thing, where a business idea comes with a mission. Normally, when you speak about a business, they say, what's your mission and what's your vision? So a mission is something that you want to achieve or something that you do. A vision is where you want to see yourself. So normally, even in business, before we even start, we look at that. We say, you are here now, and where do you want to see yourself? And in order for you to be able to get where you want to go, what is it that you put in place? How do you work? So when you structure your business idea, the first thing we look at, it is the mission. Under the mission, there are a few things that we look at that I would like to cover. There are 5 important questions that you must ask yourself. What, who, how, which, and why. Those 5 questions will then be able to give you your mission statement. When we speak about what, simply means what problem does the company solve. Remember I said there's no business that exists without solving any problems. When we say you're solving problems, when you are hungry, you go to a leading franchise or you go to anywhere to people who are selling food. Then you buy a plate of food. That is solving a problem of hunger. Okay. The next question you should ask yourself is who. That simply means, yes, you want to solve the problem of hunger, but for who? Who is the people that you are solving the problem for? You need to understand that. Thirdly, we look at how do you want to solve this particular problem, the how part. Remember, there is no business that is unique. So if people are hungry, they can eat anything they want to eat. Some they prefer burgers, some they prefer fruits, some they prefer hot plates. All of these people, they are solving the same problem. Meaning that your business idea or your business is not a new thing. The only new thing is how do you solve that particular problem, and for who. That is the value creation. Which value are you creating? Then we are looking at your customers. You must know what type of product does my customers want. You must know. Look, I am targeting the middle class. I'm targeting the high earners. You must know when you develop a product, or you are targeting kids, you are targeting young people. You must know whenever you're introducing products or services in the market, you must be in a position to say, okay, this product it's specifically designed for this particular target group, because your product cannot be for everyone. Lastly, we look at the why. Why does it matter for you to be able to solve that problem? What is the driver behind that? Once you are able to identify that, you are then in a position to say, look, okay, is this business viable or is this business not viable? Then you are, by you answering those 5 questions, you have already established your mission as a company. You should be able to answer those questions. It will then be able to give you a clear overview of the existence of your business. Remember, it is the 5 questions. It's the what, the who, the how, which, and why. If you are able to answer those particular questions, then you have established your a mission statement. Then the next one that we look at, it's your vision. You should be able to then come up with a vision. We have already now identified the mission. Now, from a mission, where do you go? It's the vision. Where do you want to see the business? Now, there are certain components that we look at, are very, very, very key components. We look at things like, how are people currently solving the problem today that you want to solve? And how do you want to solve the problem? Then that will then come back and say, okay, your vision is to be the leading food supplier in the country. But how are you going to do that? That is your vision. There are elements that you look at. There are elements that will help you to get there. What you do, you look at how are people currently solving that particular problem. Then you come up with your own interventions. It could be technologically. For example, the biggest BNP company in the world does not even own a single BNP. What they do, they went to people's houses and say, look, help us, or do you have a spare room? Change that particular spare room and make it a guest house. So then that's how they were able to create value for their clients, because they saw that people, they need accommodation. And they are having a problem of going online and searching for hotels, guest houses. So they come up with a unique way in an already existing solution on how do we tap to that market. Now, today they're the biggest accommodation service providers. It's called Airbnb. And you've got others like your Uber, like the biggest taxi industry in the world. They don't even own a single taxi. They were innovative on how do they want to put their products on the market. So that is how you look at, when you do a vision, you look at that. What strategies are you going to bring on board to ensure that whatever solution that you bring on the table speaks to your target market and gives you a revenue? Remember, I told you that the 5 most critical ones, it is the business concept, the revenue, the product portfolio. So if you are able then to come up with a proper mission and come up with a proper vision, then it's where we now take our focus, we look at your idea. There's something called idea description. When you speak about idea description, you need now to tell us about the summary of the idea. What is it that you want to do? The history of the idea. How did it come about for you to be able to say, look, I want to sell this type of water. Why is it important for you to be able to sell those type of water? What need is your product or service that is going to satisfy? So if your product or service does not satisfy any need, it's pointless for it to exist. If it does not solve any problem. So those are the things that you should be asking yourself. Okay, what is the history? We need to know what is the history. Why made you want to now start bottling water as well? What is it? What need does it satisfy? Who are your customer groups in the market? You know that there's a vast market. There are people, there's something we call in business, we call it market segmentation. What that simply means is we break down the type of markets that we have, because you might have a group of people that these are your target markets, but from that target market that you are targeting, then you need to start to segment. To segment simply means to put the whole market into smaller groups. That then will help you to be able to understand where does your product belong in terms of product mapping. Then we have something that we call product description. And at product description, we look at functions, design and technology that comes with your product. So simply meaning that those water, the bottling, the packaging of it, then we talk about the design. We look at what are the benefits of taking that particular water. What is the technology that comes with it? Is it recycling? Do we use recycled bottles? Those kind of things that you need to think about when you are about to develop a product or a service. Now, then there is the most important one, the revenue models. You can come up with a great business idea. You can come up with the best product or service. But if you do not have a proper revenue model, you are then sitting in the position of your business will not be making any money. Because the only reason we are in business, we are not in business for charity, but we are in business to make money, to make profits. So you must be able to look at your revenue model. What is your input cost versus your output cost? Then you are then able to say, look, how much are you going to charge for that product? Then you are in a better position to know, I stand to make this much from one single product or this much from one single service. So meaning that you do not just go and see somebody sitting at the corner selling sweets. Now where you go and buy a pack of sweets and you go and sit at the corner and you think that you have now came up with a proper business plan or a proper proper product. You do not know whether that person buys the fruit, the sweets. Now you maybe he buys the sweets in a far less place, and you go and buy the sweets in an expensive place, and you expect to make the same type of profits with them. That does not work like that. You must look at your revenue model, what works for you. So meaning that it also comes with the issue of pricing. Why do you ask that particular price? Do you want to attract the market? Do you want to penetrate the market? It depends. We price for different reasons. Then we look at your cost. How much is it going to really cost you to develop that particular product? You need to be in the position to know, if I'm doing this, how much is it really costing me? How much is the bottle costing me? The cap, the branding. You should be in a better position to understand that. And who is willing to invest in that particular product or service? Where you're going to get the money to even start. And lastly, product readiness. We look at how soon can that product be available on the market? And you need to be realistic there. You can't say you are developing an app and you say it's going to be on the market in the next 2 months, 3 months. It takes way longer than that, depending on the type of service and the type of product that you want to sell. So that will help you to be able to, once you are in a position to describe what type of services or products are you rendering, then you look at another avenue. Okay, now I have established my my company. I have looked at the idea, and what are the growth avenues? What can I explore if I want to grow in this industry? Remember, your vision was saying you want to be a leading service provider, maybe in the food industry. Now, how do you grow from that? Now, you must look at possible growth scenarios. The first one is volume growth. Now, when you speak about volume growth, we speak about the quantity. Now, if you are producing 10, you are now producing 20, you are now producing 30. That is what we call a volume growth. Now, that means that you have been able to attract a right clientele to be able to go and speak about your product. So more people have developed an interest in that particular product or service. Then you say to yourself, look, now I want to produce more, meaning that you are positioning yourself in terms of your growth strategy to say you want to focus more on volumes. Then the other one we look at is idea and product growth. Is do I need to introduce new products? For example, when a certain company introduces beverages on the market, maybe they start with energy drinks. Once they are aware of their drinks and they are buying their drinks, they start now to introduce soft drinks. They start to introduce water. They start to introduce juices from the same company. Now, those ones, they chose to grow in a form of introducing more products that speaks to the main product. So that is what I'm saying. You need also to understand, to say, look, now my growth strategy, is it going to be volume growth? That simply means that you're purchasing more of the one type of product, or is it going to be product growth, which means that you are now focusing on introducing another type of product to be able to help the company to grow. Now, the other one is quality growth. Now, research and development plays a major contributing factor when it comes to quality growth. Now, when you look at quality growth, it's when you produce one thing, it breaks, you go back to the market, you do your research, you want to really understand what is it that they like about the product, what is that they do not like about the product, and based on that, how do you ensure that you go back and deliver a right market that speaks to a right product that speaks to your market out there? Then there you chose to grow in terms of quality. Because now if that product speaks directly to your market, you've got an advantage to your competitors, meaning because you'll be producing something that is wanted by the market, not on something that you think is needed by the market. The other one we look at in terms of growth strategies, we've got something called network growth. Network growth meaning that you need to network with certain people or with certain companies to be able to sell your products, meaning you force partnership to say, so this company maybe in this particular province, or come take some of my products, go and sell them there, but it's companies that are within your space. Like you develop, you find somebody to say, okay, look, I'm going to develop a depot there at a particular area. That depot will then serve as part of your growth strategy. Now, that is a network growth. You look at what is it that you can outsource, maybe in terms of supplies, in terms of the raw material, because if you get it cheaper somewhere, then you are able to produce more. That is the type of growth that you're looking at as a company. Those are the type of things that you must consider when you want to start now and develop a product. Lastly, we look at market growth. How are we going to explore new markets? Now, remember, you've already identified your target markets. Now, you've developed the product. You started selling the product. You need to look at other avenues where you can be able to sell your products. Then that is, we also call it product diversity. You being able to sell the same product in different markets. Now, for example, I'll make an example with a company that produces mixed portions, for example. What they do, they sell the feathers, they sell gizzards, they sell the whole chicken, they sell thighs. Those are different type of revenue streams, but that is within one product. They've got different types of markets. They make soup packs, they make processed meats with one product. So that is how they chose to grow. Now, that is market growth, because a particular market will focus more on the feathers, other market will focus more on the chicken. So meaning they've chose that to grow in terms of market growth. Then that will help you to boost your revenue model. If you are then are in a position to be able to identify which way do you want to grow, then it's much better for you. Then after you've identified your business idea, we now then move to what we call your product portfolio. And under product portfolio, there are a few things that we look at. The first one is the product mix. When you speak about product mix, it's what type of product are you going to bring on the table to solve that particular problem. Now, what are your core products? What are your add-on products? What are your flagship products? So I'll explain the three products. It's four actually. It's introductory products, core products, add-on products, and flagship products. So when we speak about introductory products, we're speaking about those products that you are introducing, such as that bottle of water. That is what you introduce yourself in the market with. Everybody knows your company specializes in water. That is your introductory product. How you introduce yourself to the market. Those are the things that you need to know. Which products are your. Then you move to your core products. Those are the type of product that makes money for you. Yes, it's bottled water, but is it 5 liters? Is it 10 liters? Now we are looking more on that's the core products. That's where we make more money than the 500 mils. Then we focus on your core product. That is core product. From there you focus on what we call add-on products. When we speak about add-on products, we are speaking about those small product that you just add with the main product. Now you started with still water. We know your company with still water. All of a sudden you are adding your sparkling water. You are adding your flavored water. That is what we call add-on products. It is your product, but you have just added them on. Then we've got what we call the flagship products. Now, flagship products are the product like your juice or like your soft drinks. If you have decided to venture into that, those are just flagship products to say, oh, look, we also do this. It is not our core, but if it happens that you might need, we also have our juice. The focus is not mainly on this particular product, but it's more of a flagship, putting ourselves out there. Now, when you design or when you develop a product or services, you should know how to package the whole system in order for your clientele to be able to understand and to be able to buy your particular product. That will also help you in terms of your distribution channel. You would exactly know from which are the retailers or which are the people who should be buying that particular product that you are producing. The other one, we look at your product qualities. What are the qualities of your product? What makes your product so unique? Is it the physical features? When you touch it, it makes you feel special? Is it the mental qualities? Is it emotional aspects? Is it spiritual dimensions? You look at what makes your product. When your product interacts with your customers, how do they feel? In which category do they fall? Is it in terms of physical features? When we speak about physical features, we speak about performance, reliability, the quality, the service, the price, the compatibility, the technology. All those things that I've just mentioned falls under physical features, meaning that how good in terms of performance. Every person who drives a car will tell you, oh, that car can perform. The 0 to 100, that's is it reliable? The particular brand that you're using, is it reliable now? Is it quality? Do you get the right service from the service provider? Is the price good? Is it compatible with others? And what are the technological features that comes with that particular product? And now when we speak about mental qualities, we speak about products that are user-friendly. When we speak about products that are user-friendly, it's product that anyone can use, that does not need a manual for people to be able to understand your product. You look at about individual adoption. Can people adopt this concept? Can people adopt this product? You look at the service that comes with the product. You look at the logic of the product versus the price. You look at the functionality. How does it function? How does it make you feel when it functions better? Now, then we move to emotional aspects. When we speak about emotional aspects, we then start to speak about prestige, meaning at what level does it put you in terms of Do you feel good? Do you feel special when you have that particular product? There's a certain product when you have them, everyone can say, this one has arrived. You see, now that is the type of product that what it does in terms of emotionally. Attraction, does it attract people? Does the product attract people, or is it just a product that you can just say, oh, okay, it's fine, then you go away? But those are kind of things that you need to think about in terms of when you now start to produce mass production. Will it be able to attract? Now that it goes back to the issue of packaging. Now we move to the last one, spiritual dimensions. Is it meaningless to own that product? Does it create value? Does it make you identify yourself with something? Does it give you a sense of belonging? At least I belong to this particular group of people. Lastly, we look at humanity. Does it make you feel humble to own that particular product or service? We look at your product roadmap. When you speak about product roadmap, those who understands, I'll make a typical example with cell phones. Cell phones, you've got a particular range that comes out this week. The following week, there's it's the same phone, but 360 maybe. The following week, it's 360.1, the 360.2. The versions they change, or even apps. That's what they do. That's how they look at it. Your social media. They use the same product service. Let's say they've got version 1 up to version 10. It's the same product but different versions. What changes is the features that comes with the product. You need then to say, how do you position that particular product in order for you to put, to say, okay, this week, this is what I produce. Next week, I'm producing this, or next month, or next year. That is called product mapping. Knowing by when will you produce which. Now, the type of product that you see on the market today probably took the guys 5 years, 6 years to develop. You're only seeing them in the market today. Already when that thing is launched, there are other products that are already coming because they need to improve. They need to be constantly relevant. The other one is new product generation. That simply means, there is that particular car. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever. Then that number, we speak about the first one. That what car 1, what car 2, what car 3. Then there we speak about the generations of the product. When there is, if you own this one, if generation 2 comes out, you as a person who owns the 1, you'd want the 2. You as a person, then when 3 comes out, you'll want the 3. It is because of the generations. Or it's the same type of product, but it comes in different times. It's what we speak about. It's what we mean there. We mean that those type of products are the products that attract loyal customers and loyal clientele. It's like when you drive this particular car, you cannot drive anything else besides that particular car. That is what we mean when you speak about new product generations. Now, I want us just to recap as I am about to close. I covered your vision. How do you develop a vision? How do you develop a mission? Then we look at your product description. We look at your growth scenarios. We looked at your product qualities. We also finally we looked at your product maps. On the following session, we will now look at the revenue model. How then are we in a position to make more money within the same product? Thank you for tuning in. Catch me next time.